to this. Grand arrivals live on DAZN.
Riyadh season is back. Latino Night has invaded Saudi Arabia, and we're, as you can see, in Mexico right now. Boulevard World main event, a cracker. Billam-Smith versus Gilberto Ramirez. Make sure you clock in right now.
Riyadh season back like we never left, and we are in Mexico World here in Boulevard World. It is grand arrivals today. You know how it works by now, but I feel like this one's a bit different. It's a bit more special, a bit more flavor, because it is Latino Night. We got some of the best boxers from Mexico here, from the Latin world, and look at that. I mean, it wouldn't be a Mexico themed night without a mariachi band. So right hearing from me for the next 20 minutes, let's hear from them. Take it away.
Guadalajara, 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 Guadalajara. Tienes el alma de provinciana, hueles a limpio, rosa temprana. A verdejada fresca del río, son mi paloma, su caserío. Guadalajara, Guadalajara, tienes el alma más mexicana. ¡Hoya! Hermoso, Guadalajara, Guadalajara, tienes el alma más mexicana. Seguro que sí.
I feel so bad interrupting him. That voice was incredible. I feel bad. But I've seen rehearsals and that could go on for hours and hours. Let me introduce you to my A-team with me once again, Darren Barker and Sergio Mora. Sergio, seal of approval? Yes, this is all for you, Sergio.
Oh, it's all for me.
It's all for you.
Well, then it's 100% Mexican approved, from the folklorico dances to the mariachi, even the tacos. The food, everything is legit. I love it.
You know how crazy this is, Darren? Like, me and Darren have done all the Riyadh season events. We've been here so many times to Boulevard World. I don't ever remember seeing this.
No,
when did this come from?
Every time something else pops up. This is magical. It's busy. The entertainment is growing, and we've got something special coming your way Saturday night.
We certainly do. We've got a really special card as well. Should we show you the card? I think it is a very good one. I mean, we're talking world title fights. I think guys on the cusp of world title fights, former unified champions as well. Sergio, we have everything on this card.
Which is what you need for a mega event. You need a little bit of everything, some intrigue, some style clashes, some knockouts, and we're going to get a lot of knockouts. And that's why top to bottom, it really is a can't miss type card.
Yeah, let's show you the fight card. I mean, again, top to bottom, I do think there is intrigue and a mix of the unknown with a lot of this. Ziyad Almaayouf takes on Juan Garcia in the welterweight division. Oscar Duarte versus Botirzhon Akhmedov. You might remember the name, former Olympic bronze medalist. Oscar Collazo takes on knockout CP Freshmart. We'll get to his real name in a second. Zepeda takes on Tevin Farmer. Jose Ramirez versus Arnold Barboza Jr. in what is a really, really stacked 140-pound division. And then two of the best cruiserweights in the world, Zurdo Ramirez versus Chris Billam-Smith. Jai Opetaia, I'm hearing, will be in the building on Saturday as well, making sure he maybe takes on the winner.
Yeah, love that, and that's a fight I think Opetaia wants. But most importantly, the two challenges here. There's a big pot of gold. I mean, this is a massive fight to make your claim for one of the best in the division, potentially number 2. But that fight there is there for the winner. It's a huge fight. It will capture the imagination, and yes, one we're all for.
Yeah, the winner almost has to fight Jai Opetaia, isn't it? I don't want to put pressure. I'm not a promoter or a manager, but surely that's the fight you want to make next if you are trying to get close to an undisputed.
100%. And look, whenever you're listening to Zurdo and CBS talk, they both think they're number 1. Well, in reality, we feel that Jai Opetaia is number 1. They're fighting for number 2, and they need to earn their respect. And the only way to do that is by knocking out each other and fighting each other. But right now, Jai Opetaia is a man at cruiserweight.
I like it. This is number 2 versus number 3. I think. Question: who is number 2? Who is number 3?
I'm
just asking the question.
Right, and this is not me being biased, but I'll probably go with CBS because he's the natural cruiser.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
he's done more of the work.
Yeah, he's done more. So you go CBS, and I'm reminding people, including you, Sergio, don't sleep on Billam-Smith. You know, this man is talking about respecting Zurdo Ramirez, obviously, but he believes he has a similar kind of Mexican style. He has that Mexican heart, and he really wants to prove how good he is. We've seen rates of improvement from Chris Billam-Smith, and it's time now on this platform to go and show the world.
One name that we have, sorry Sergio to cut across you, one name we saw there on the fight card, a bit down, not co-main event, is William Zepeda. And I mean, that's a special name. This is, I think, one of the best fighters right now, but still so much more to go for him.
William Camarón Zepeda has been knocking out everyone they put in front of him. Golden Boy has done an amazing job moving him up. They moved him up tough. I mean, this is a man that throws 100 punches around, 1,000 punches a fight. That's if he could last to the end. And Tevin Farmer's a former champion, so it's good for Zepeda to have a former champion on his resume. Tevin Farmer's not the type of guy that's just going to go out on his shield. He needs to win this fight. Southpaw versus Southpaw, it's very intriguing.
You know what is also intriguing? This fight card is free. That's incredible. This fight card is free on DAZN. You don't need to be a DAZN subscriber as well. Just go to DAZN.com/boxing, sign up, and you've got something really special come Saturday night. All right, are they ready? They are ready. I had a look. Thomas Tribert is standing there, so let's throw to your MC.
Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the grand arrivals for Riyadh season Latino Night, a great night of World Championship Boxing to be held this Saturday from the venue in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We would first like to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority GIA, Turkey Al-Sheikh. This great event is being brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority GIA, with Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and Sella in association with Boxer, along with our great sponsors: Saudi Tourism Authority, Saudi National Bank, STC, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, Saudia Airlines, New Muraba Development Company, Tawuniya, Hunger Station, Lucid Motors, and Al Tanfidi. A big thanks to those great sponsors. And some great news, courtesy of His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh. This great event is available for free. You can watch it globally on DAZN, in the UK on Sky, in the United States on Telemundo and Fox Deportes, in Mexico on TV Azteca, across MENA on BN, MBC, and STC TV, and around the world for free on DAZN. Let's now get the grand arrival started. Our first fighter competing this Saturday in a scheduled 6-round welterweight contest. He hails from right here, Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He is undefeated with 6 wins, 1 win. Coming by way of knockout, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ziyad Almaayouf.
Ziyad Almaayouf making his way to the stage. Last time out in LA, struggled a little bit. By the way, Chris Mannix is with us as well, part of the team. He'll be speaking to all the fighters on stage as well. Struggled, I thought, quite a lot in LA. Obviously, look, it's a learning experience for him. He has to learn from that experience.
Yeah, look, Bullet caused him too many problems, if I'm honest. I like Almaayouf offensively. I think he's very good. The way he lets his shots go, his chin does come high. But it's when he's under attack, when the fight starts progressing, he sort of loses his shape and it all kind of goes out the window. I know working closely with Buddy McGurk, and he'll be frustrated. And I've seen him in the corner really, you know, pleading him to go forward and let the shots go, because he does kind of switch off. There is a lot to work with. He's got great mentality, he's a great personality, very, very hard working, made a lot of sacrifices, but he needs to make these adjustments and he needs to make them fast.
Yeah, very quickly, Sergio, one thing we don't talk about with Ziyad is the pressure. He is under a lot of pressure, isn't he?
Because he's so well spoken. I mean, he's perfect for boxing. I mean, he's the face you want for boxing, especially coming, you know, from Riyadh season. But he's rough around the edges.
All right, let's hear from Ziyad Almaayouf. He's with Chris Mannix.
Ziyad, my friend, good to see you again. You began your year fighting here in Saudi Arabia. You finish it fighting once again. What's it feel like to be back here fighting on Latino Night?
Listen, nothing feels better than fighting at home. When we spoke in LA, I said Saudi superhero is on a mission abroad. Well, today, Saudi superhero returns. You know, Super Zizou returns to Saudi to give them one last fight of the year, one good win, God willing. But you know what? When Zizou is in Saudi, Zizou doesn't lose. Zizou only wins in Saudi.
You last fought on the Riyadh season card in Los Angeles in August. It was originally a draw, later overturned for a win for you. Keep your perfect record intact. What did you take away from that performance?
You get rewarded for how you react when you are tested, not when everything is going perfect. And it's funny you ask, because when we were at the media workouts, the public workouts then, that's exactly the sentence I said. And when things looked like they were going against me, I just was humble, I was grateful. God taught me everything I need to learn from a draw, from controlling myself mentally, the pressure, the stress, who's going to be there by my side after, who's not. I learned everything from the draw, but then God saw how I reacted when I was getting tested, and He gave me the win. And that was nothing I did, it was always God, always God.
Welcome home, Ziza, and good luck on Saturday.
Welcome to Saudi Arabia.
Our next 2 fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 12-round super lightweight contest. We will first welcome, coming to us from Uzbekistan, he was a 2016 Olympian, now with a professional record consisting of 10 wins, 3 defeats, 9 of his 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Botirzhon the Shark Akhmedov.
Don't be fooled by the 10-3 record here that Akhmedov has. You look at those 3 defeats, and it's to Mario Barrios, the current welterweight belt holder, Alberto Puello. I thought he won that, a split decision loss. Kenneth Sims Jr., a majority decision loss. This guy can fight. This guy can fight. He's been fast-tracked because of the amateur pedigree. I think he's a very, very good fighter.
I tell you what, he is, and this is a very, very good fight. He is all action, yes, short notice, but still, he's going to bring it. Akhmedov is a beast. Look, you mentioned it there. In the first 2 fights, he's had 2 of those defeats for world titles. Yes, they fast-tracked him. He did have the Olympic bronze medalist, but boy, do not go to the kitchen. Do not put the kettle on. Do not blink in this one.
Yeah, I just wonder, Sergio, I mean, again, he's only taken this fight on a couple of weeks' notice. It was supposed to be Kenneth Sims Jr. versus Oscar Duarte. You know how hard it is to get down to a weight. I mean, is he going to be physically ready?
In one word, Absolutely.
All right, let's hear from the man. Let's hear from him. He's with Chris Mannix.
Batir, you got this call on short notice to fight Oscar Duarte. What was your reaction when you first got the call?
У тебя было это на коротком уведомлении. Какая у тебя была реакция по поводу этого, по поводу боя?
Когда мне предложили этот бой, я принял его, так как я воин, я всегда готов. Я находился в кемпе, так что без проблем мы приняли этот бой. Это очень хороший шанс показать себя на новую публику Саудовской Аравии, в Риях. Я думаю, это очень хороший бой будет.
When I got this call, you know, I just accept this fight because I'm a warrior. I was in the camp and I always ready and I shoot ready. So for me, it's just a big chance to show myself for a new fans in Saudi Arabia.
Oscar Duarte is a big guy who throws a lot of punches. What kind of fight are you expecting?
Оскар Дуарте – это большой парень, ну, для своего веса, который выбрасывает много ударов. Какой бой ты ожидаешь, ну, и нам ожидать?
Он, да, выбрасывает много ударов, и я бью немало. Я тоже бью очень много. У меня тоже стиль не менее агрессивный, чем у него. И я думаю, посмотрим, у кого лучше получится работа. Кто кому больше ударов накидает. Мы готовы на все 100.
Well, yeah, you are right, but, you know, I'm throwing also a lot of punches, and I'm also aggressive style. Let's see, you know, who throw more punches and, you know, who it works best.
Sounds like a fun fight. Good luck, Batir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from Padral, Chihuahua, Mexico. He brings a professional record consisting of 27 wins, 2 defeats, 1 draw, 22 of his 27 wins coming by way of knockout. He is a former NABF champion. Here is Oscar La Migraña Duarte.
You know, back in the UK, a lot of fighters have secondary jobs. We used to seeing fighters be like painters and decorators, electricians. Am I correct? I remember the fighter meeting we did with Oscar Duarte. Didn't he say he's running for mayor?
Mayor, and I think he's an entrepreneur in a lot of things. He owns his own gym, but La Migraña, that means a migraine. That's what he gives opponents when he goes into a ring. This is a muscular fighter that's always looking for the knockout. His only loss is against Ryan Garcia. No shame there. In a fight he was winning. Excellent style matchup for anybody, and especially for Akhmedov.
I love this fight. Duarte, he brings it. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's in your face. He's all action. So much heart, so much desire. Every single fight, he's desperate to win, and he's relentless. He really is. And I agree with you. I thought he was doing very, very well against Ryan Garcia. A lot of people were concerned about Garcia, and he landed the shot, but there's no shame in that. We've seen how destructive Garcia can be, but this man can fight. He is a handful.
Yeah, I remember the Ryan Garcia fight well, just because Ryan Garcia came in, I wouldn't say overweight, they agreed at a 142, 143 catch weight or something, and Oscar Duarte was coming up from 135 pounds, so he gave a lot of size away in that fight as well. Since then, he's beaten Jojo Diaz. Obviously, Jojo not what he once was, but he is coming off a win. And I think this is going to be a really fun fight. Again, I picked it as potentially my fight of the night. All right, let's hear from Oscar Duarte. He is on stage with Chris Mannix.
Oscar, welcome to Riyadh. You took this fight. You had a different opponent a couple of months ago. How are you feeling about facing your new opponent?
Bienvenido a tu Riyadh. Tú tuviste un oponente unos meses atrás. ¿Cómo te sientes frente a este oponente?
I feel good. My focus is in my training, and I training very hard. I very focused in this fight and ready for stay here in Riyadh and ready to go.
You stopped Jojo Diaz in your last fight, your first fight since taking your first loss against Ryan Garcia. Are you a better fighter since that loss?
Tú detuviste a Jojo Díaz de la última pelea con Ryan García. ¿Te consideras un mejor peleador desde esa pelea o cómo te sientes?
Sí, me considero un mejor peleador. Yo creo que cada pelea te forja para bien. Como te digo, mi enfoque siempre está en mejorar y soy un mejor peleador que la pelea pasada contra Yoyo.
Yes, I feel a better fighter, and my focus is always to improve myself. And of course, I feel better after that fight, and Riyad will see that.
Batir says he's going to come forward. He's going to throw a lot of punches too. I see you smiling a little bit. Is that the kind of fight you're looking for?
So, dices que va a venir adelante, que va tirando puñetazos, que tú también lo vas a hacer. ¿Cómo te sientes para esa pelea?
I'm ready, man. I train very hard. I feel very good in this camp and ready for this fight. For the Mexican style, I'm ready.
Good luck, Oscar.
Thank you.
Yeah, book it. That's going to be a bit of a war. That one, Oscar De La Hoya, ringside as well. Say ringside, stage side, watching a lot of his fighters come on stage and do their thing. So good to have Oscar here, by the way, as well. We've had Ben Shalom, obviously Frank Warren and Eddie, now fourth promoter and one of the biggest promoters in the world, Oscar De La Hoya, here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I think it's really good for the sport. On that, Duarte, I was just going to talk about the 140-pound division because look, Duarte's on the outside looking in, right? He's not considered one of the very, very elite. It shows how stacked that division is. I mean, it's one of the busiest divisions in boxing, isn't it?
No, it really is. And he fits in nicely in there because he's always coming to fight. He has the power, he has the chin, he has pretty much everything to compete with every single name on that list. But can he beat them? That's where he comes up short. But he's an excellent type fighter you want to put against your toughest fights to match him up.
One thing I will say, Darren, I look at him and he was always, I think, a bit of a bully at 135 pounds. You can look at him physically, very muscular. He's gone up 5 pounds. All of a sudden, the guys are kind of the same size as him.
Yeah.
So I wonder if his biggest attribute, his size and strength, is now almost become null and void because he's fighting guys equally quite big.
Yeah, look, you could say it's nullified to some degree, but one thing's for sure, you know, he's got that Mexican style which he talks about in abundance. You know, he brings it, and people are going to watch this man. They're going to want to watch him because he's so exciting. Look at the variation, the intent, and everything he throws. He's a
The size of his bicep, what is that? That's a Roy Jones Jr. bicep, isn't it?
I've never seen a bicep implant.
That was huge. One thing you can get from those clips, do not stay on the ropes with Duarte. I mean, it's the biggest mistake you can. Oh, look at this. Right, you wanted more entertainment, here you go. I mean, take it away, dancers. I'm loving this. This is fantastic. Are you not entertained? I mean, this is such a good idea, by the way, to do it here as well in Mexico World. It reminds me a bit of what we did in LA when we went to Santa Monica Pier, and you had a lot of people walking past, didn't know what was going on, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, they're intrigued, and they have a look, and you can kind of see that happening below me here. Everyone's kind of stopping and having a look, and that's how you get more people like in the sport of boxing.
That's the thing about, the mainstream fights. Everyone knows the big names, but the smaller names, we meet people like this that walking by. So when we went to the Santa Monica Pier, we went to the Chinese Theater, we went to LA Live, we went all over Los Angeles to the main places. People love that. I mean, people walking the Hollywood street were watching boxing. That's what we want more of.
All right, let's continue with the grand arrivals. Let's go to your MC, the great Thomas Triber.
We continue with our grand arrivals. Our next two fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the vacant Ring Magazine Championship and both the WBA and WBO minimum weight championships of the world. We will first welcome, coming to us from Surin, Thailand. He brings a professional record undefeated with 25 wins, 9 wins, coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the reigning and defending WBA minimum weight champion of the world, Tamanoon Knockout CP Freshmart Nyomtrong.
Yeah, probably the longest name in boxing. Tamanoon Nyomtrong is his name. His nickname is Knockout CP Freshman. One of the long-standing champions in boxing as well. Has held that WBA belt for nearly 9 years. And it's not like he's not defended it. He's defended it quite a few times as well, Darren. You wind this guy up, he just goes.
Yeah, he's relentless. He's absolutely relentless. We've been talking about this, Sergio. These guys, they don't get the admiration, they don't get the fanfare as some of the bigger guys, but what they do bring is pure entertainment. You see any of these guys fight, it's just non-stop action, and this guy, he's in your face, he's busy, a little unorthodox at times, he does get caught with shots, but that just aggravates him even more and makes him even more aggressive. So yeah, this is another one where you need to buckle your seatbelt.
This is going to be a good one. I mean, Collazo's had a fantastic 12 to 18 months, but this is a test for him now because, again, it's a unification, and they should be test unification fights.
Tamanoon, welcome to Riyadh. You've been a world champion for a long time, but this is your very first chance to unify the titles. How are you feeling going into this fight?
ครั้งนี้เป็นการชกที่เป็นการยูนิฟายแชมเปี้ยนเรามีความรู้สึกอย่างไรครับในการชกครั้งนี้ก็ก่อนอื่นก็ขอขอบคุณโปรโมเตอร์ครับที่จัดศึกครั้งนี้ระหว่าง WBA กับ WBO ได้สู้และวัดกันว่าใครจะเป็นหนึ่งครับแล้วก็รู้สึกดีใจครับที่เป็นส่วนหนึ่งของศึกในการต่อยครั้งนี้ครับ First of all, we like to thank all the promoter and person concerned to organize this unification fight between the WBA and the WBA and the WBO, and he's really happy to be here to prove that who is the great world champion in this particular class.
You fought back in September. Before that, you were off for a couple of years. Do you still believe you're at your best? เขาถามว่าเราเนี่ยหลังจากชกเดือนกันยายนใช่ไหมครับเดือนกันยาแล้วเรามาชกเนี่ยครั้งนี้เนี่ยเรามีความมั่นใจมากน้อยแค่ไหนครับก็มีความพร้อมมากครับเพราะว่าหลังจากต่อยเสร็จก็พักประมาณ1สัปดาห์แล้วก็เข้ายิมแล้วก็เตรียมตัวฝึกซ้อมต่อเลยครับ After he just have a fight recently against Winwood in Australia and he continue preparing for this fight. Good luck, Tamanoon.
ขอบคุณครับครับขอบคุณครับ Thank you so much.
Okay.
And now let's welcome, fighting out of Villalba, Puerto Rico, by way of Newark, New Jersey. He had a stellar amateur career and now is a professional, undefeated with 10 wins. 7 of his 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the reigning and defending WBO minimum weight champion of the world, Oscar El Pupilo Collazo.
A breakout year, I think it's fair to say, Sergio, for Oscar Collazo. He's been busy this year as well, which is what we want to see, right, with champions. Defend your belts, and he's certainly done that. This will be his third fight this year. I know he wanted 5. Who knows, right? I mean, it gets crazier things can happen, but I just like the fact that we're seeing him fight, and this boy fights.
Absolutely. No, I saw him win the world title, in his 7th pro fight. I mean, this is one of these Puerto Rican fighters that can fight, especially with that left hook. He has the footwork. He has a little bit of everything, man. So power doesn't intimidate him. Speed doesn't intimidate him because he brings technique to the table. That's the reason he's able to stay so consistent and be able to fight so many times a year. I mean, if he can squeeze in one more fight, that'd be pretty incredible. He'll take it back to the throwback days where, fighters used to fight 4 or 5 times a year. That's what he wants.
You know what I like about him as well? Obviously, very vocal. We've spoken to his trainer before, and he said himself, this is Oscar, that he wants to bring eyeballs to the minimum weight division. He notices that the flyweights, the junior flyweights, are getting a lot of eyeballs. He wants that eyeballs, and he's willing to kind of put himself out there, say things to get people to tune in and watch his fights.
Well, not only with his fighting style and what he does in the ring, but he's bilingual. He's really good with talking Spanish, talking English, and selling himself. He's promotable. That's what you want in fighters like this and champions like this, where you can promote them around the world. Good-looking kid that can speak well and fight his butt off.
All right, let's hear from Oscar Collazo. He's on stage with Chris Mannix.
Well, Oscar, you don't get your 5 fights in this year. I know you were looking forward to that, but you do get a chance to unify the division. How are you feeling going into this fight?
No, I'm feeling great. 100%. I'm feeling great. We didn't get that 5 fights, but we got a dream fight. That is unification, making history in another part of the world, the first Puerto Rican to come in Riyadh and fight, and a minimum weight, making history. I feel really great about it.
A lot of people in the U.S. may not know a lot about your opponent, but you sure do, fighting in this weight class. What kind of fight are you expecting from a guy that's been a world champion for a very long time?
No, my respect for Mr. Tamanon, a very great champion. I know he's going to bring it all. And I prepare 100% for this fight because I know it's going to be a huge fight. And believe me, we're going to steal the show that night. All respect for all the fighters, but that's going to be the best fight. So we're going to make it a stand, a minimum weight that we deserve to be in a big fight like this.
Good luck, Oscar.
Thank you.
Our next 2 fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round contest, and it'll be for the vacant WBC Interim Lightweight Championship of the World. We will first welcome, coming to us from the great fighting city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. He brings a professional record consisting of 33 wins, 6 defeats, 1 draw. 8 wins, coming by way of knockout. He is the former IBF Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Tevin, 2-time Farmer.
Very, very tough fight this for Tevin Farmer. He's the type of fighter, though, that will put his hand up and fight anyone. And, every time I see Tevin Farmer or hear Tevin Farmer's name, I still can't believe we didn't get the Gervonta Davis fight. I mean, they were circling each other for nearly 3 years. I mean, they were meeting each other in supermarkets and malls. I'm like, can we get that fight? Never happened. And it's unfortunate for Tevin Farmer, former IBF Super Featherweight champion, but he gets this big opportunity, and it's a big one.
I can believe why Tank didn't fight him. It would have been tricky.
I know where you're going.
It would have been tricky. This is a tricky fighter in Tevin Farmer. I mean, this is a man that got knocked out in his pro debut and had the resilience to come back and win a world championship and go on a winning streak. You can't doubt a guy like this. So even in his mid-30s, against a heavy puncher that he's going to be facing, you can still have belief in him. This is do or die, and these are the type of fights that he's made for.
All right, let's hear from the former IBF Super Featherweight champion, Tevin Farmer. He's on stage with Chris Mannix.
Well, Tevin, big smile on your face as you came out here. How are you feeling about being here in Saudi Arabia?
I'm feeling amazing. I always wanted to come here. I'm here today. I get to fight on an amazing card, and I'm ready to show out.
In some ways, why you're here. They want to see what William Zepeda looks like against a fighter that fights like Shakur Stevenson. You are here for a different reason. You're here to win and put yourself up back on the map. What do you have to do to win a fight like this?
I just got to be me, stay slick, come out there and win. You know, I don't want to give away too much, but they picked the right guy. And yeah, me and Shakur are both southpaw, but we fight nothing alike. And Saturday night, they're going to see that I'm the real deal. You know, I came off my layoff. I got the ring rust off with my last fight. Now I'm back, and I'm ready to go again.
What's the key for you in beating a guy that can throw upwards of 100 punches around?
I fought plenty of people that threw hundreds of punches. John O'Carroll himself threw 1,200 punches around, and I came out victorious on all scorecards. So fighting somebody like that is not a big deal to me. I've been there. I've done it. I've been around the block. I'm still young, still fresh, and I'm ready to go.
Good luck, Tevin.
Thank you.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from San Mateo Atenco, Mexico. He brings an undefeated record with 31 wins, 27 of his 31 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome William Camarón Zepeda.
William Zepeda making his way to the stage very quickly. I want to sort of circle back on something Tevin Farmer said. He said he's very, very fresh still. Normally when a guy who's 34 and has 40 fights says that, you kind of disagree. But I do wonder that layoff after the Jojo Diaz defeat has helped him a little bit.
Not only that, but he's never really taken a physical beating. You know, his losses with Muay Thai, he felt he won that fight.
Yep.
So, you know, Jojo Diaz, he was able to, you know, he lost the championship, but he didn't get physically beat up. So, yeah, it's because of that he can still fight in his mid-30s and still be as sharp.
Right, take your Tevin Farmer t-shirt off, Team Farmer t-shirt.
You and Chris Mannix sound alike now.
My issue with that Muratalla fight, it was very, very close, but Muratalla was getting to him. He was really starting to come on strong. William Zepeda is a lot better than Muratalla when it comes to aggression and relentless pressure. Look at this man though, he's so unassuming. We've seen him walking around here, very little entourage, but this man can fight. We've all been a little bit head scratching of why he hasn't fought for a world title yet. You know, 31 fights, 27 knockouts, no defeats, a pro 9 years. He's #1 in all the governing bodies. This is his time. A victory here puts him in great position.
William, you became a star fighting in Mexico. You're becoming a household name in the U.S. How do you feel being here to fight in Saudi Arabia?
William, te convertiste una estrella en México, después en Estados Unidos. ¿Cómo te sientes aquí viniendo a pelear aquí a Saudi Arabia?
Pues la verdad me siento muy contento, muy agradecido con Golden Boy, con Turki por esta gran oportunidad. Hemos ido conquistando poco a poco el boxeo mexicano, el boxeo estadounidense y primeramente Dios vamos a conquistar el boxeo aquí en Arabia.
So first of all, I feel very grateful and thanks to Golden Boy, thanks to Turki Al-Sheikh. We have been just working hard around the world and finally we arrived here trying to give our best to get the win.
You celebrated the birth of a child recently. I think a lot of people thought you were going to take the rest of the year off. Why was it important for you to fight in this card?
Tú acabas de tener un hijo hace poco y bueno, eso es algo muy importante para ti. ¿Cómo te sientes y qué te ofrece eso para esta pelea?
Bueno, pues es una gran motivación. Siempre he tenido una gran motivación para mis combates, prepararme al 100% y pues ahorita con esta bendición, con esta gran experiencia, pues aún más motivado.
So I have been always trying to prepare well for all my fights, but this is something really special for me, and of course is pushing me to give my best, and you will see that soon.
I think a lot of people are talking about you maybe fighting Shakur Stevenson down the line. Is there any danger that you might look past someone like Tevin Farmer?
Están mirando las personas que están hablando de una pelea con Shakur Stevenson. ¿Hay algún tipo de peligro con Tevin Farmer? ¿Cómo te sientes para eso?
No, la verdad es que sí, ahorita estamos muy concentrados con este rival que tenemos enfrente, sabemos de sus cualidades que tiene, sabemos lo peligroso que es, las experiencias, pero estamos concentrados en esto, vamos a sacar este compromiso y posteriormente vamos a ver qué es lo que sigue para mi carrera.
So we are very focused right now with this opponent that we have. He's very strong, he's very good. So first this fight and then we will focus in the coming fight.
Good luck, William.
Thank you.
Let's now welcome our co-main event participants. This Saturday, they will be competing in a scheduled 10-round contest. It is a eliminator for the WBO Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome, coming to us from El Monte, California, USA. He brings an undefeated record with 30 wins, 11 coming by way of knockout. He is the current WBO Intercontinental Champion and #1 ranked by the WBO. Here is Arnold Barboza Jr.
As Arnold Barboza Jr. makes his way to the stage, it's perfect time to say you can watch this event for free at DAZN. Remember, no subscription at all required. Just head to DAZN.com/boxing. All you need to do is put in your email address and you can see my wonderful, beautiful mug come Saturday night. Arnold Barboza Jr. making his way to the stage. I think he really struggled last time out against Sean McComb. We were there for the undercard fight. Remember, the main event was Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. We need to see, I think, a lot of improvements on that fight if he's to become a fixture in the 140-pound title discussion.
Cutting off the ring, setting up his power shots, more attacking the body. I mean, yes, we need to see a lot more improvements. But that's what happens when you face the wrong competition. McComb was a 6'1" southpaw. I know it's going to look good against those guys. Barboza taking that fight, that just shows you the type of heart that this guy has. But this is the fight that stylistically is going to make sense.
Yeah, Barboza certainly wants those fights. He has to get past Ramirez. Let's hear from Barboza. He's on stage with Chris Mannix.
Well, Arnold, we're here, finally. You and Jose Ramirez finally going to meet. Been in the same weight class for a number of years. Just now, you're going to go at it. How are you feeling going into this fight?
Oh, man, I feel amazing. Camp has been amazing. It's been amazing out here in Riyadh. We can't wait.
I think a lot of people watched your last fight where you got the win, but even you'd admit wasn't your best performance, saying, wondering, hey, does he have enough left at this point? What would you say to that?
Well, you know, everyone has their good days or bad days, but we'll see Saturday. You know, that's why I'm excited about, you know, like you said, you know, this has been a long time coming. I know he's ready, and I know I'm ready, you know, so there's only one thing to do, and that's the fight.
Yeah, I've known him for a long time. What do you have to do to beat him?
Man, I think we have all the tools to beat him. You know, I think Ramirez is the type of guy that sometimes you can't just box guys, you know what I mean? So you got to stay there and fight, so I think there's going to be a war.
You ever think you'd eventually fight him here in Riyadh?
Never in Riyadh. That's for sure. I knew one day I would fight, but never here, you know. Like I said, it's no better place.
Good luck, Arnold.
Appreciate you.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from Avenal, California, USA, a 2012 Olympian. He now has a professional record of 29 wins, just 1 defeat, with 18 of his 29 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome the former unified super lightweight champion of the world, Jose Ramirez.
Darren, you only have to go back 3 years where UK fight fans and American fight fans were debating who is the number 1 140-pounder, Josh Taylor or this man making his way to the stage, Jose Ramirez. That night, Josh Taylor was the best we've ever seen. Ramirez still has a lot left, though, I think. You watch him in those performances against Francis Bartholomew. You watch him against Pedraza. There's still something there.
Yeah, Francis Bartholomew, though, in my opinion, he dropped Ramirez and the referee called it a push, but still, I think the issue with Ramirez, for me certainly, is because I'm a big fan and I want to see him fight. 3.5 years, this is his full fight. Yeah. You know, you need to be busy when you're competing at this level. He's a very good fighter, he really, really is. He's got a lot to give, he's got that amateur pedigree, he's well supported, but he needs to look good here. I don't think this is a case of just winning. I think he needs to look good in doing so. They both know each other. We've heard his opponent say so. But look, he's limbering up. He's ready to go. And I'm sure he's going to put on a good performance because he's due one. He needs one.
Yeah, that little combination with the hook on the end looked very, very sharp, didn't it? I mean, he's still ready to go. Let's hear from Ramirez. He's on stage with Chris Mannix.
Well, Jose, I'll say the same thing to you that I said to Arnold. It's finally here. You two guys have been kind of circling each other for a long time. How do you feel now that you're finally going to meet in the ring?
I'm ready, man. That's all I can say. I'm looking forward to this fight, and I'm motivated. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here in Saudi Arabia. Riyadh has been great to me and to my family and to the team, so we're just looking forward to getting the job done on Saturday night.
At the press conference a couple of months ago, it felt like this fight was kind of personal to him. Is it personal at all to you?
No, man. He's just another opponent, and I'm going out there, and my goal is to make a statement.
You picked up a win earlier this year, and after that you said you're glad to be active once again. You've had some activity issues over the last couple of years. What kind of difference do you think it'll make you being as active as you've been now?
Oh, you're gonna see a much better fighter, a more sharp, fast, strong fighter like you saw in 2019 when I became a unified world champion. Just the best of Ziyad Almaayouf.
Said you want to make a statement. What does the statement look like?
Oh, you're just showing people that there's levels to the sport.
Good luck, Jose.
Thank you.
Sergio, I'm going to put you on the spot. I hope you don't mind me doing so. Do you look at Ramirez and think he will win another world title at 140 pounds? From what you've seen in the last...
cliche as it sounds, we're going to find out on Saturday, because this is a fighter that's been inactive. You can't be inactive and look sharp. I mean, when you only fight once a year, I don't care if you're an Olympian, you're a former unified champion, you have all the skills in the world. He's a hard worker, one of the hardest workers in boxing. That's not enough if you're not in the ring. Ring rust will take the best out of you. So we're going to find out Saturday, because look, that night right there, that was an amazing unification right there. I called that fight one of the best environments I've been a part of. But that right there, you guys know, across the pond, that man right there, Josh Taylor, he was able to drop him and convincingly beat everyone that he was the man at 140. Ramirez has a lot left, but he's going to have to prove it against a hungry, undefeated fighter in Arnold Barboza.
I believe you can, Ade, because your host next to you has just dodged the question there.
He's sat firmly on the fence, which is fine. It's okay.
I believe he's got enough in him. I think there's another really big performance, probably the best performance of his career, still waiting. Yes, he has been inactive, but I think in some weird way that's conserved him a little bit. That there's not miles on the clock, but we want to see him fight because he's that good of a fighter.
Yeah, I mean, he's been to the mountaintop already. Barboza wants to get to the mountaintop. That's the reason he signed with Golden Boy. Give me those fights. They've given him one now, haven't they, on Saturday night against Ramirez, someone that he knows very well. I'll ask the question about Barboza. Seen enough to see he can get there?
No.
Okay.
No, not yet. I mean, even though he does have the shiny record, he's undefeated, he's hungry, he says all the right things. I watch him fight. He's an amazing combination puncher. Not the biggest puncher, but I like his footwork. Look at that angle right there.
That
Look
uppercut was beautiful.
Every punch in the book, and he takes a good shot. And he has swag. This is the thing that you can't teach. You can't teach charisma, and you can't teach power. He has one of those, and that's charisma. Doesn't smother his shots, and he's confident. He believes in his ability. And we come from the same area. We made our bones in a gym called South Almania. Nothing but great sparring there. I know how hard he works. Now it's his time. He wanted this opportunity. He got it.
Yeah, that last one we saw was the fight against Sean McComb, where a lot of people maybe thought he lost. There were boos ringing out after. So he's coming here with something to prove. Just to remind people, he can still be one of the top dogs at 140 pounds.
He's fired up. He needs to almost right that wrong and put in a good performance here. Maybe more than that, he needs to win. I'm with Sergio. The way he fights, he flows. He's a beautiful combination puncher. Throws a lovely reverse 1-2. Great fight.
It's only right. You've got a Mexican world champion about to make his way to the stage against a guy who fights like a Mexican as well, and Chris Billam-Smith. So let's take it away. More mariachi band for you.
Dicen que tiene una pena. Dicen que tiene una pena que la hace llorar. Altanera, preciosa y orgullosa, no permite la quieran consolar. Pasan luciendo su real majestad, pasa, camina, nos mira sin vernos jamás. La divina tiene pena y dolor. La divina no conoce el amor. Altanera, preciosa y orgullosa, no permite la quieran consolar. Dicen que alguien ya vino y se fue. Dice que pasan las noches llorando por él. ¡Hey, hey! El amor, ay, manera preciosa y orgullosa, no permite la quieran consolar. Dicen que alguien ya vino y se fue, dice que pasan las noches llorando por él, dice que pasan las noches llorando por él, dice que pasan las noches llorando por él. ¡Mi señor!
Wow, there you go. I think we've all enjoyed a bit of that. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. Did you have that at your wedding? Did you have a mariachi band at your wedding? Did you really?
You know what? No, I had mariachi music. I actually had a jazz band.
Okay, cool. Very, very classy. Mariachi band at your wedding, Darren?
Yeah. Blended right in the pub in Camden Town, London.
Indeed. All right, look, so much going your way on the zone. 150 fights a year. More and more coming. Unbeatable coverage at the home of boxing and sport.
An unbeatable year of boxing on the zone. The biggest names and knockouts.
How do you like it?
And it continues this weekend with Riyadh season Latino Night. Coming up, Edwards versus Jafai, Paro versus Hitchens, Rocha versus Juriel, Akhmedov versus Espinoza, and finally, Usyk versus Fury 2. You can't beat fight nights every week. You can't be over 150 fights a year on the zone. Boxing on the zone is unbeatable. Sign up at thezone.com/boxing.
Yeah, it really is a crazy schedule. And look at this. This is the team that will be calling the fights come Saturday night. Claudio Trejos is going to head up our Spanish-speaking team. And there's me on the corner there. I don't know. I'm going to speak to my agent. Why am I not in the middle? Why is Ade not in the middle? Ade Oladipo there headed up the English broadcast team as well. It's great to have Virgil Ortiz here as well. I think one of the best 154-pound fighters. Sergio, oh, there you are, Sergio. Darren, look where you are, Darren.
It's Latino Night.
Yeah,
it's Latino Night, so emphasize the Latino in the middle.
Is that what it is?
You know,
Okay.
for me, I'm just over the moon to be on the same lineup as Marco Antonio Barrera.
See, that's what I should take from it as well. I should take that as well. I will take from that as well. But I will be having a word with my agent as well. All right, main event time next. Zurdo Ramirez and Chris Billam-Smith. Remember, unification fight in the Cruiserweight division. So without further ado, let's throw it back downstairs to your MC, Mr. Thomas Schreiber.
Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, Riyadh season Latino Night is being promoted by Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions. And now at this time, it is my honor to introduce to you two of the greatest fighters in boxing history. Let's first welcome a International Boxing Hall of Famer and Golden Boy Promotions partner, Bernard the Executioner Hopkins.
Wow. The Executioner, Bernard Hopkins, for me, one of the best middleweights ever. I mean, it's Hagler, it's Monzon, it's Bernard Hopkins, it's Darren Barker, it's Gennady Golovkin. But no, truthfully, the Executioner was just incredible. Later on, became the alien because he kept on going and going, and we were all shocked that he was fighting up until 50, but an incredible fighter, an incredible servant to boxing.
An incredible story. I mean, he learned to box in prison. Learned to box in prison, came out and became the undisputed champion, had 20 defenses with the middleweight title, became one of the all-time greats. All-time greats. Not, in the last 10 years, I mean, all-time greats. I mean, he really is an alien. I mean, something special.
It really is. I remember, as you said, all those defenses at middleweight, and then went up to 175 pounds to fight Antonio Tarver, and that was a good buy. Beat Antonio Tarver, carried on for nearly another decade. Incredible. Bernard Hopkins, let's hear from him. He's on stage with Chris Mannix.
Well, Bernard, you boxed for a long time. If events like these were around back in your day, I think you would have kept you in the ring a little longer?
Absolutely. I mean, to be in a situation where it's history, it's important, and be here in the Saudi and Riyadh season be a big, big thing. Yeah, that's the only thing I look back and say, I wish I had one more in me.
Maybe you do. This is a deep card with a lot of fights that could be main events on their own. Which of these fights interest you the most?
Zurdo, yes, is the main event, but the whole card is great. And right now, you look at the unification of a cruiserweight division. Last cruiserweight champion that meant something was Evander the Holyfield, to my knowledge. Star-studded name in the division that he made, basically the cruiserweight. But this is similar like that, far as what happens after the winner wins. And the card is loaded with everybody. I mean, you have everyone is vulnerable come Saturday night.
Looking forward to it. Bernard, I'm just kidding about coming out of retirement. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, unless you come out of retirement first.
Absolutely not. Guys.
Bernard Hopkins. The great Bernard Hopkins there. I will say this, never ever correct Bernard Hopkins. But I mean, he said the cruiserweights haven't been relevant since Evander Holyfield. There was a small man called Alexander Usyk that done quite a lot of jobs in the cruiserweight division as well. But don't tell Bernard I said that. Anyway, Thomas Triber is going to introduce the golden boy himself, Mr. Oscar De La Hoya, to the stage.
And now let's welcome a International Boxing Hall of Famer, founder and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya!
I love nothing more, and I mean this, nothing more than Clapback Thursday. I absolutely, I wait for it. Who's going to get it today? Oscar's a fantastic promoter. Obviously, look, again, we're just speaking about Bernard Hopkins, Sergio being one of the all-time greats. Oscar is in that bracket as well, one of the all-time greats. And I almost feel like some of the young kids right now just don't remember just how good Oscar De La Hoya was as a fighter. He was incredible.
Listen, as a young kid myself growing up in East LA, he was the reason I started boxing. The Golden Boy, when he won the 92 gold medal in Barcelona, when he became a champion in multi-division, when he had that huge fight against my idol, Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, that man right there is historic. He's great for boxing. He's a face of boxing for a long time and an incredible promoter.
Yeah, and I said this earlier in the show. I'm so happy that he's now involved in his Riyadh season cards as well, because he is one of the biggest promoters in boxing, and it's all good every time the promoters can come together. Let's hear from Oscar De La Hoya. He's with Chris Mannix.
Well, Oscar, an incredible scene here in Riyadh. Does it feel like you're south of the U.S. border being here?
I feel I'm in Mexico. I feel I'm in Latin America. The people here are so wonderful, so amazing. They're knowledgeable about boxing. And one thing that I want to promise Riyadh is that it is my duty that before I retire, I want to build a world champion from Riyadh. A champion from Riyadh will be incredible. It will be historical. And I will talk to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh and make that happen.
These cards have been going on for the better part of the last year. Why was it important for you to put on an event like this?
Very important, because we have fighters who want to fight the best. And this is no exception. This card here is the best versus the best. This card wouldn't be possible without Riyadh. This card wouldn't be possible without DAZN, without Your Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. So having fights like Collazo and Barboza and Ramirez, and you have Zurdo with Billam-Smith, it's going to be incredible for the whole world to watch, and it's going to be free.
I was just saying to Bernard, a lot of these fights could be main events in the U.S. on their own right. What's the fight that you're most excited about?
The fight that I'm most excited about is the fights that everybody's going to watch all over the world. The fight, every single fight is incredible. Oscar Collazo is going to be, it might steal the show, but every single fight has the ingredients to be the fight of the year. I strongly feel that Golden Boy Matchmakers, my partner Bernard Hopkins, we've done such a wonderful job in putting this event together, but making sure that the fights are 50-50 fights.
The most consequential fight is the main event. We've got a unified championship on the line. Zurdo picked up a title in just his second fight in the cruiserweight division, but now he's fighting a career-long cruiserweight who's made multiple defenses. What does he have to do to win a fight like this?
I love his perseverance. I love the fact that when Zurdo Ramirez was the first Mexican fighter ever to become world champion at 168 pounds, he came over here to Riyadh. He had a tough fight and lost to Bivol, but he came back. He moved up in weight class. He won a world title. Now he's fighting for the unification against probably the toughest guy in the division. It's going to be one of those fights where you're going to tell yourself 10 years from now where I was when I saw that fight. And I'm very happy, very fortunate and honored that we're holding it here in Riyadh.
Appreciate it, Oscar. Let's you grab a late dinner. A lot of good options around here.
A lot of good options. Good Mexican food here too, so.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya there. Obviously, look, the main one that we're looking forward to is Zurdo versus Chris Billam-Smith, because, again, we're close to an undisputed. I think Jar Pattaya will be here on Saturday. The winner of that one, I think, will fight Jar Pattaya next, and that's going to be a barnstormer. Anyway, that's for later. This is for now. Let's go to Thomas Treiber to bring both champions to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, our main event this Saturday is scheduled for 12 rounds. It is a unification bout, and it will be for both the WBA and WBO Cruiserweight Championships of the world. Let's first welcome, coming to us from Bournemouth, England, his professional record, 20 wins, just one defeat, 13 of his 20 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World, the gentleman, Chris Billam-Smith.
Here he comes, CBS, Chris Billam-Smith. You heard the record there, Thomas Treiber saying one defeat. That one defeat was avenged. That was to Richard Riatpur. He lost by split decision. They fought last time out, and Chris Billam-Smith won that one. Not comfortably, but won it by quite a wide scorecard. So Chris Billam-Smith is in the form of his life, and I think he likes the underdog status, Darren. I mean, he's had it before. He likes proving people wrong, and he's going to try and do exactly the same thing come Saturday.
Yeah, and when he was a huge underdog against Lawrence Okoli, not many people had him winning that fight. He ripped up the script and he won the title, and he's really grown in confidence since that fight. He's big, he's strong, he's technically sound, and there's a lot of self-belief. This man has to try and nullify the movement of Zurdo Ramirez with his own feet, the jab to the body. But is he quick enough? I'll tell you what though, this man truly believes in himself, tons of heart, a great chin, and he's a worthy champion who really, really wants to push on, unify the division and fight Jar Pattaya.
Yeah, you can't say he's not doing it the hard way. He's taking on all comers at Zurdo for Chris Billam-Smith on Saturday. Let's hear from the man now they call the gentleman, with Chris Mannix.
Well, Chris, you're kind of walking into enemy territory here. Latino Night here in Saudi Arabia, a whole bunch of Mexicans on the card. You're fighting a Mexican. Does it feel like that?
Yeah, for sure. It feels exactly like that, but it's a good feeling.
You know, in the immediate aftermath, or actually before Zurdo fought Arslan Goulamirian, you sent him a message wishing him luck. You wanted this fight. Why was this the right fight for you?
This is unification fights is what I'm after. Zurdo's ready now to fight me when I'm ready, and he's a great fighter. He's a fighter's fight. He's a great name. He's a great champion, but they're the fights I want.
A lot of people believe that was a breakout performance for Gilberto Ramirez. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was a really good performance. against a very valid champion and a long reigning champion in Gilberto. So great performance, but now I'm grateful he's got the belt and I can take it off him.
You're both cruiserweight champions, but you're a career-long cruiserweight. He's just in his third fight in this weight class. Is that something you can use to your advantage?
Yeah, I just think all my advantages will play to my strengths in that sense, because the way I fight, the intensity I fight at, the strength I've got, the work rate I've got, the power, the speed, all of that will be too much for him.
Came out to a little Phil Collins there. You've been waiting for this moment?
Yeah, for sure. It's a great tune, and I'm looking forward to it.
Good luck, Chris.
Thank you.
I echo that. It is a great Phil Collins tune as well. I want to quickly clear something up. There's a lot of people online that say Chris Billam-Smith, Duck Jar, Petaya. There's a lot of talk about them fighting in October. Chris Billam-Smith wanted that fight. He just said, look, I'll be ready in November. I'm not going to rush to fight you. I'll be ready in November, and hence why that fight didn't happen. Neither man are ducking each other. They both want to fight each other, and we'll see if that can happen if Chris gets past this one. This one being Zurdo Ramirez. Tough, strong Mexican. Let's bring him onto the stage. Let's go back to your MC, Mr. Thomas Schreiber.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from Mazatlán, Sinaloa, Mexico. He brings a professional record of 46 wins, just one defeat. 30 of his 46 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning and defending WBA Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez.
It's crazy to think this man, 4 years ago, was fighting at 168 pounds. It blows my mind when you stand next to him and see the size of Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, now a champion in the Cruiserweight division. The only defeat coming to the great Dimitri Bivol. He did look a bit wanting, I thought, in that fight. He's going to have to look a lot better, I think, this time round.
I think he picked up a lot from that loss. He realized the importance of footwork, because that's what beat Zurdo in that fight. Bivol, an excellent footwork master with ring generalship and that jab. So he picked that up and he brought it to the bigger boys in the cruiserweight division against Billam-Smith. I love the way he was being able to be the ring general, fight laterally, move around clockwise, counterclockwise. Awesome evolution he's had from the super middleweight division, light heavyweight, all the way to 200 pounds. Yes, he's going to be the smaller man in the cruiserweight division. CBS is a big, naturally stronger fighter, but this isn't going to come out to power, or it's not going to come down to size. It's going to be footwork and speed, and that's where Zurdo has the advantage.
I guess there's still question marks over him as a champion in the cruiserweight division, because Billam-Smith was out for a long time. We're not quite sure about him. Joe Smith was a catchweight. Not too sure about him. Let's see what he can do against a real cruiserweight come Saturday. Let's hear from Zurdo Ramirez. He's with Chris Mannix.
Well, Gilberto, welcome to Riyadh. A couple of years ago, you were in Abu Dhabi, came up just short against Dimitri Bivol. How much have you improved since then?
Well, I learned a lot, and I'm ready to put a lot of effort in this fight. And I mean, all the training camp, the hard training camp is done, and I want to put all the strategy that we did, all the training. And I mean, it's great to be here. Really, really good surprise to be here with Latino Night. And then, thank you everyone. Thank you for being here at Riyadh season. Thank you for making this possible.
You won your world title in just your second fight in the cruiserweight division. I think a lot of people said that was the best you've ever looked. What's different about you at cruiserweight?
I mean, I'm a big guy and I'm strong, and I think I have a lot of skills. And I mean, the body weight is really comfortable to be here. I'm walking like 210, 215, and I mean, he's happy and it's easy for me to make weight.
You're fighting an even bigger guy in Chris Billam-Smith. What's the key for you to win this fight?
Throw a lot of punches, and that's it.
Good luck, Zurdo.
Thank you.
Zurdo's a great guy, isn't he? He's just one of the. This is why I hate this fight so much, because I like both of them so much. I like both of those guys.
Two gentlemen, two very good fighters, two confident fighters. Like Sergio said, I really believe this man's speed and footwork will cause Chris Billam-Smith a lot of problems. against Guillermo, his uppercuts with both hands were so impressive. And I have seen with Chris Billam-Smith, he's very muscular and he struggles to close his elbows in, and that's the shot for guys that have I wouldn't say a loose guard, but an open guard when the elbows flare out. So watch the uppercuts from Ramirez. But what a brilliant fight. What a huge pot of gold for the winner here to push on and face who we believe the number one in the division is, Jairo Pitaya. There is so much to love on this card. There's brilliant fights. There's meaningful fights. We're in for a real treat Saturday night.
It is, isn't it? As you see the fighters walk out and they do their speeches, and everyone's got something to prove. Everyone's got something to hang on to. Everyone's trying to go to that next step, aren't they? And the same as the main event, guys. As you mentioned, Jairo Pitaya is that next step, and undisputed is that next step. And there's a story in every single fight.
Stories how you sell a fight, and stories how you sell a fighter. And these are two fighters that they're not number one. I mean, they're champions. Both of them are champions. It's a unification. But we know Jairo Pitaya is number one. They're fighting for number two, and it's an excellent number two. I mean, CBS is a strong fighter. He's going to have the size advantage, the power advantage. Zurdo's going to have the speed and the footwork, like we said. Excellent style matchup. Clash of styles is what I like.
You know what that music means by now, don't you, eh?
Yes, Sergio dancing.
Go on, there you go, Sergio. Time for a bit more mariachi band. That was fun, wasn't it? That really was. Remember, it isn't just Saturday for us here on Big Fight Weeks on the Zone. It is events every single day in the lead up to it. Well and truly covered on Fight Week here on the Zone. Hello, people. Me again. Fight Week on the Zone is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fight. That's fantastic. From grand arrivals and weigh-ins.
I'm not here around, I'm here for war.
To open workouts and pandemonium at the presses.
It's going to be so much pain.
All analysed by the biggest names in boxing.
I'll end this. Get him out of boxing. It's over.
That and so much more, even before the bell rings. These fight weeks are important, aren't they? They are, because I feel like, as you say, you need to be carried along until Saturday. And remember, Fight Week throughout the week, we've got you covered on the Zone. Obviously, we had grand arrivals today. Tomorrow is the media and public workout where they throw a little bit of hands. Thursday, the press conference. Friday, the weigh-in. And then Saturday, it is main event day. And remember, it's free on the Zone. Just go to thezone.com/boxing, sign up and watch it for free. I mean, we can't offer you more than that, can we? A quick word about the main event before we wrap here again. It is such a good fight, isn't it? Yeah. It is number 2 versus number 3, whichever order you want to put it in. And that's what is good about the sport of boxing. That's what's good about Riyadh season, right? No more dodging and diving. You're going to have to fight the next man up.
Yeah, look, we are making fights happen. Big fights are happening here. And this is a very, very important fight. The winner, not so much about becoming number 2, but the opportunity to become number 1 in facing the champion, the number 1 in the division, means an awful lot. That is what you strive to be as a fighter, the best in the division. And you look at this stylistically, there's a lot of questions, a lot of ways that this fight could be won and lost. It's a mouth-watering clash, Sergio.
All right, stylistically, Sergio, again, I put you on the spot for so many questions today. I do apologise. Okay. Stylistically, who has the better style to face Jairo Pitaya out of these two?
Probably Zurdo Ramirez because of the punch selection. The thing about CDS, he has a great right hand. I mean, those combinations. The right hand's a a hook and a straight punch. He throws it to the gut, but he doesn't really have much of a left hand. Zurdo's a two-fisted puncher. You know, he dissects you with uppercuts and then comes down to the body. If you're going to fight a guy with good footwork, you're going to have to attack the torso, the area. So I think Zurdo has the size, the faster hands, the faster feet, and the better combinations.
All right, there you go. Well said as well, Sergio. No fence sitting this time as well. You're getting better. All right, today was fun, wasn't it? Grand Arrivals tomorrow is going to be even better because they're going to somehow put a ring in there. And we're going to see the fighters throw a bit of hands and tease us with what we can expect on Saturday. Remember, what you can expect on Saturday is this event will be free. No subscription required whatsoever. Just go to thezone.com/boxing. You don't want to miss this one. Plus, it's free, so you shouldn't really miss it anyway. We'll see you tomorrow.